So last week, some of you didn't think I was fun enough. And to prove that we like to party here at Destructoid.com, Max is making me drink this awful, awful thing. We also like to review things at Destructoid. So it's the week of May the 5th, 2014, and let's review some reviews. So, before we get into this week, let's touch on some reviews from last week that we didn't get a chance to cover. First, Chris Carter reviewed Destiny of Spirit. He thought this free-to-play RPG was a fun game to try, but maybe not for everyone. He gave it a 6 out of 10. Next was The Amazing Spider-Man 2 for PS4, which Chris also reviewed and called, quote, not a complete disaster. He also gave it a 6 out of 10. The last game Chris reviewed was Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn. Chris called it his favorite MMO since the World of Warcraft and gave it a 9 out of 10. Now on to this week. We've got 3 games up for review, and first off is the PC release of Raiden 4, Overkill. Chris Carter reviewed this aptly subtitled shoot-'em-up and felt that it was not bad, but thought the entire package needed some work. Quote, Raiden 4 Overkill could have used a few more extras, but the fact that you can get it cheaper than the Xbox 360 version when it launched is a compelling reason for genre fans to pick this one up. Chris noted in his review that the entire game can be completed in about 45 minutes. Some would say that, like Gone Home, paying more than $10 for 45 minutes of gameplay is a tough sell. But unlike Gone Home, this game has tons of guns and points and shit, so it's infinitely better. Chris gave Raiden 4 Overkill a 7.5 out of 10. Also from Chris Carter this week, we got a review of Sportsfriends. Sportsfriends is not a Super Smash Bros. Style game where you can make John Madden, one of those NFL robots, and the Philly Fanatic fight each other, because that would be too awesome. What Sportsfriends actually is a collection of Kickstarter-funded indie local multiplayer focus games. That is to say, it is a video game that is coming out in 2014. Chris thought some of the games were definitely worth playing, like Johann, Sebastian, Joust. However, Chris thought that some of the games were less than fun, specifically Super Pole Riders. He said in his review that the game features, quote, hardcore pole physics, and that waving your pole around gets boring after a few minutes. I've also heard that playing too much Super Pole Riders can lead to hairy palms and blindness. Also, it's probably worth pointing out that it was developed by Bennett Foddy, the creator of QWOP and GURP, 2 games that are basically designed to frustrate gamers. Chris gave Sportsfriends a 7.5 out of 10. Finally, we have Tesla Effect, a Tex Murphy adventure. This is the 6th game in the Tex Murphy series, an FMV adventure game focused on the eponymous Tex Murphy, a down-on-his-luck private investigator in a dystopian San Francisco future. Alistair Duncan is reviewing the game and says it's pretty faithful to the series, and feels like, quote, the only recent game that's come close to this kind of cinematic detective story was L.A. Noire, and it's not like we'll be getting a sequel to that anytime soon. Yeah, because L.A. Noire was bad. I'm sure that anyone old enough to remember and love the Tex Murphy series will be excited for this game. That's why Tesla Effect is Destructoid's Dad Game of the Week. Dad Game of the Week. Before we go, let's take a look at a new feature, Destructoid Comment of the Week. This week is from user Luck Required on the Sportsfriends review, who says, quote, we used to have this kind of multi-couch play fun with California games when I was younger and awesomer, minus the hipster horseshit. If playing a game like Joust that lets you tackle your friends is hipster horseshit, then call me a hipster horse's butthole. Yeehaw! This week kinda sucked for games. A game you can beat in 45 minutes, an FMV adventure game, and a multiplayer-only game. That's why I'm giving the week of May 5th, 2014, 3 John Maddens out of 10, and I'm gonna go learn how to code so I can make my own version of Sportsfriends, where Kim Jong-un and Dennis Rodman have magical adventures together and discover the meaning of friendship. Go read all the reviews on the website Destructoid, and goodbye. Follow me on Twitter.